Good evening. My name is Mastrocola. Worked in San Francisco for the last 2 years in the area of civic engagement and getting folks to speak their piece. So I do appreciate the fact that we're here and we're speaking together. And I do appreciate your ability to have a conversation about this issue, all of you. And I have a couple of questions. First question really is based upon the statement, Chief, that you made about the reduction of the officer-involved shootings, or killings, I should say. Shootings, I'm sorry, shootings, that was right. Was reduced by 60%, I think you said it, last 2 years.
Yes.
It sounds like a success story to me, if I read that the way this is. And so I'm impressed with that. And I'm just wondering, I'm not sure exactly if you analyze what it is that is causing that to happen and the success to occur. But I'm just wondering specifically why you feel it is compelling to add tasers or similar non-lethal or less lethal weapons to the toolbox if you're having this kind of success.
So, as the Commissioner said, becoming Chief, I inherited this resolution. We had an incident on the Embarcadero where I believe that something less lethal would have perhaps allowed us to not have used that level of lethal force at the time, and we would have had 5 shootings last year. So when I made the inquiry as to where we were, that was actually came to news to us that there even was this resolution. I was out here at Bayview as captain when it was prescribed, so we picked up the unfinished business of the former chief and the commission at the time, and this is where we are today.
Right, okay. So you're not making any particular compelling case for any specific less lethal
my suggestion was, at the time when the former chief was making the suggestion, he made the suggestion for the whole police department.
Right.
I proposed looking at some of these best practices where they suggested a smaller sample size so we can hear about the spike in force that's being discussed, that perhaps we would start with our CIT officers, and that's where we are today, as that being the suggested smaller sample size.
Okay, thank you. One other quick question regarding process, if you wouldn't mind, and I would include this for the 3 of you on the commission, and I appreciate the explanation, Commissioner Chan, that you gave regarding the process. Made it much clearer to me what this whole thing is about. And I want to ask specifically, which of the community groups have you actually met with, specific to get the expert information that you spoke about, Commissioner, regarding mental health, LGBT, communities of color, and other segments of the community? Which of those groups have you actually sat down and had a conversation, interaction with?
So when the commission discussed and voted on this back in February 2011, it wasn't spelled out exactly how we would do it. It just said that we need to consult with communities of color, mental health professionals, LGBT, and other key segments of the community. At the time, I believe there was discussion about specifically doing outreach to these communities and having discussions with them. But since then, it seems like the way we've rolled this out is that we've had these 3 community meetings, one in the Bayview, one in the Western Mission, and one in the Sunset, not specific these aren't specific meetings with these segments, rather they're open meetings for everyone in these 3 communities. That's the way it's material.
Okay, so are you planning to then go ahead and follow along with the resolution that was passed then to consult and sit down and get input? Because presumably, I'm just picking up on your comment, presumably the comment you made about experts does have some weight with this commission and with this panel. And so I'm assuming that's why the police commission decided that these specific kinds of groupings should be consulted. And just how do you get that? By having, forgive me, this is a beautiful group of people, but how many of them are really experts in these areas, and how can you have a conversation other than just a 4-minute statement? And that's my concern.
I think you would be surprised, but we've actually heard from some pretty expert testimony.
And who would those be?
Doctors, psychologists, homeless advocates, community advocates.
What about Taser
Okay, excuse me, I have the mic. And what did they tell you? What did they tell you specifically about your questions about using tasers as a form of less than lethal? What did they tell you?
I'm happy to talk to you offline and try and synopsize 6 hours of meetings, but I can't do it within 3 minutes.
Okay. So was it generally, yeah, let's do tasers, or was it generally, no, we're concerned about it?
I'm happy to talk to you offline. Tonight's not the findings meeting. There's been a lot of input, there's been a lot of letters, emails, endorsements, opposition, and I think in fairness to the process, we have to let the commission take their findings.
Commissioners,
Next.
can I ask you what they have said to you?
I'm going to take the next one.
Can I ask you what they've said
Yeah,
to
I'll
you?
talk to you with the chief.
Absolutely
It's 8:30,
appreciate that.
sir.
Thank you.
I'm past my time. I need to.
Thank you.
I want to
Appreciate it.
Everyone.